Hello guys, we hope everyone is well. We are back again with a new story. Let's start and enjoy. Everyone. The village of Willowbrook was nestled in a serene valley, surrounded by lush green hills and a winding river that sparkled under the sun. It was a place where everyone knew each other, and life moved at a gentle pace. Among the villagers was a little boy named Tom, full of curiosity and energy. Tom loved to explore, ask questions, and dream about adventures beyond the hills. One sunny afternoon, as Tom was playing with his friends in the village square, he noticed someone he had never seen before. An old man with a long white beard and twinkling eyes was sitting on a bench under the big oak tree. The man wore simple, yet elegant robes, and there was an air of tranquility about him that immediately caught Tom's attention. Tom, being naturally curious, walked over to the old man. "Hello?" he said, looking up with wide eyes. "Who are you?" The old man smiled warmly. "Hello, young one. My name is Elian. I am just a traveler passing through your beautiful village." Tom's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "A traveler? Where have you come from? What have you seen?" Elian chuckled softly. "I have come from places near and far, seen many wonders, and learned much along the way. But tell me, what is your name?" "I'm Tom," the boy replied proudly. "I love to explore and learn new things. My friends say I ask too many questions." Elian's eyes twinkled even more. "Questions are the key to understanding the world, Tom. Never stop asking them. In fact, I believe you and I might have a lot to talk about." Tom felt an instant connection with Elian. There was something about him that felt both familiar and mysterious. "Can you tell me a story?" Tom asked eagerly. Elian nodded. "Of course. Let me tell you a story about a young boy, much like yourself, who embarked on a journey of discovery and wisdom." Tom sat down beside Elian, his eyes wide with anticipation. As Elian began to weave his tale, the village square seemed to fade away, and Tom found himself transported to a world of magic, adventure, and profound lessons. Little did Tom know, this simple encounter was the beginning of a life-changing friendship and a journey that would teach him more than he could ever imagine. Elian teaches Tom about the importance of curiosity and asking questions. In a small, sunlit garden, Elian and Tom sat on a wooden bench. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the gentle hum of bees. Elian turned to Tom with a thoughtful expression. "Tom," Elian began, "do you know why curiosity is so important?" Tom shook his head, eager to learn. Elian smiled and continued. "Curiosity is the key to discovering the world around you. It drives you to ask questions, seek answers, and understand the mysteries of life. Without curiosity, you would remain stagnant, never growing or learning." Tom listened intently, his eyes wide with wonder. Elian picked a small, vibrant flower from the garden and held it up for Tom to see. "Look at this flower, Tom. What questions come to mind when you see it?" Tom thought for a moment and then replied. "Why is it so colorful? How does it grow? What makes it smell so nice?" Elian nodded approvingly. "Exactly. By asking these questions, you're beginning to uncover the beauty and complexity of nature. Each question leads to new knowledge and understanding." Elian's gaze grew distant as he recalled his own journey of discovery. "When I was young, much like you, I was full of questions. I wanted to know how things worked, why people behaved the way they did, and what lay beyond the stars. My curiosity led me to explore, to read, and to learn from anyone willing to share their wisdom." Tom felt a surge of excitement. He realized that his own curiosity could open doors to endless possibilities. Elian placed a gentle hand on Tom's shoulder. "Remember, Tom, never be afraid to ask questions. Embrace your curiosity, for it will guide you through life's greatest adventures. Every question you ask is a step toward understanding the world and your place within it." Tom nodded, feeling a newfound sense of purpose. He knew that with curiosity as his guide, he could explore the wonders of the world and uncover the answers to life's many questions. Thus, Tom learned his first lesson from Elian, the importance of curiosity and the power of asking questions. It was a lesson that would stay with him forever, guiding him on his journey of discovery. Tom follows Elian into a mysterious forest, learning about the natural world. The journey begins. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the trees as Tom and Elian ventured deeper into the forest. The air was cool, and the scent of pine and earth filled their lungs. Tom's heart raced with excitement, and a hint of apprehension. "Stay close, Tom," Elian whispered, her eyes scanning the surroundings. "This forest is ancient and full of secrets." Discovering the flora. As they walked, Elian pointed out various plants and trees, sharing her knowledge with Tom. "Look at this one," she said, touching the leaves of a plant. "This is a fern. It's been around since the time of the dinosaurs." Tom marveled at the intricate patterns of the fern's leaves. "It's beautiful. How do you know so much about these plants?" Elian smiled. "I've spent many years studying the forest. Each plant has its own story and purpose." The whispering trees. They continued their journey, and Tom noticed the trees seemed to whisper as the wind rustled through their leaves. "Why do the trees sound like they're whispering?" Tom asked. Elian paused, her expression thoughtful. "Some say the trees are alive, communicating with each other. It's a language we don't fully understand." Tom shivered not from the cold, but from the eerie beauty of the idea. The clearing. After a while, they reached a small clearing. The last rays of sunlight bathed the area in a golden glow. In the center of the clearing stood a massive oak tree, its branches stretching towards the sky. "This is the heart of the forest," Elian said softly. "This tree is believed to be over 1,000 years old." Tom stared in awe at the ancient tree. He could feel a strange energy emanating from it, a sense of timeless wisdom. A lesson learned. As they rested by the oak tree, Elian continued to teach Tom about the forest's ecosystem. "Everything here is connected," she explained. "The plants, the animals, the soil, they all depend on each other for survival." Tom nodded, absorbing the information. He realized there was so much more to the forest than he had ever imagined. The return. As night fell, Elian led Tom back through the forest. The journey back seemed shorter, yet Tom felt like a different person. He had gained a new appreciation for the natural world and its mysteries. "We'll come back tomorrow," Elian promised. "There's still so much to learn." Tom smiled, eager for the next adventure. The mysterious forest had captured his heart and ignited a curiosity he never knew he had. Elian sat by the flickering fire, his eyes reflecting the dancing flames. The group gathered around him, eager to hear his wisdom. He began with a question that seemed to hang in the air, timeless and profound. "Have you ever wondered what time truly is?" Elian asked, his voice calm and measured. The silence that followed was telling. No one dared to answer, for they knew Elian's questions were never as simple as they seemed. "Time," he continued, "is like a river. It flows constantly, shaping the landscape of our lives. Sometimes it rushes, sometimes it meanders, but it never stops." He picked up a stick and began to draw in the dirt, tracing the outline of a winding river. "Imagine this is your life," he said, pointing to the starting point. "You are born here, at the source. As you grow, you follow the river's path, encountering bends and splits." Elian paused, letting the imagery sink in. Each bend represents a choice, a moment where the river could take a different course. Sometimes the choices are obvious, like a fork in the river. Other times they are subtle, like a gradual curve. One of the listeners, a young woman named Mira, raised her hand hesitantly. "But what about when the river flows into a storm or when it dries up?" she asked. Elian nodded, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Excellent question, Mira. Storms represent the challenges and hardships we face. They can be overwhelming, but they also shape us, carving out new paths and making us stronger." He pointed to a dry patch in the drawing. "And when the river dries up, it symbolizes moments of stagnation or despair. But remember, even a dry riverbed can flow again with enough rain. Life is full of cycles, and a period of drought is often followed by a time of abundance." The group murmured in agreement, understanding dawning on their faces. Elian continued, his tone more introspective. "The river of time is also a reminder that we are all connected. Just as tributaries feed into a larger river, our actions ripple out, affecting others in ways we may never see. Elian's eyes met those of his listeners, conveying a sense of urgency and hope. So, cherish each moment, every bend, and every storm. They are all part of your journey down the river of time. With that, Elian fell silent, allowing the crackling fire to fill the space with its comforting warmth. The group sat in thoughtful contemplation, each person reflecting on their own river, and the choices that lay ahead. Tom and Elian ventured deeper into the forest, their footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of fallen leaves. The air was tinged with the fresh scent of pine and earth. The deeper they went, the more vibrant and alive the forest seemed to become. Trees towered overhead, their branches interwoven to create a dense canopy that filtered the sunlight into a soft, green glow. As they walked, they began to hear faint murmurs and whispers. At first, they thought it was the wind playing tricks on their ears, but the sounds grew clearer and more distinct. Tom and Elian exchanged puzzled glances but continued on, driven by curiosity. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a small clearing, bathed in dappled sunlight. In the center stood a majestic oak tree, its trunk wide and gnarled with age. Around it, a group of animals had gathered, a wise old owl perched on a low branch, a fox with a gleaming red coat, a gentle deer, and a mischievous squirrel. Tom and Elian froze in their tracks, eyes wide with astonishment. The animals were talking. "Welcome, travelers," said the owl, its deep voice resonating through the clearing. "We have been expecting you." The fox stepped forward, its eyes twinkling with mischief. Yes, come closer. We have much to tell you." Elian, finding her voice, asked, "How can you speak?" The deer, with a gentle nod, replied, "In this part of the forest, all creatures have a voice. We share our wisdom with those who are willing to listen." Tom, still in awe, said, "What wisdom do you have for us?" The squirrel chattered excitedly. "Patience, young ones. All in good time. First, you must understand that the forest is a living, breathing entity. It has its own rhythms and secrets." The owl spread its wings, drawing their attention. "You must learn to listen, truly listen, to the world around you. The answers you seek are often hidden in the whispers of the leaves, the rustling of the grass, and the songs of the birds." Elian nodded, absorbing the owl's words. "We will listen. We will learn." The fox grinned. "Good. Your journey is just beginning, and the forest will guide you if you open your hearts and minds." With that, the animals began to share their stories and wisdom, each one offering a piece of the puzzle that Tom and Elian would need to complete their quest. The clearing became a place of learning and wonder, where the boundaries between humans and animals blurred, and the magic of the forest came alive. Tom and Elian left the clearing with their minds buzzing with new knowledge and their hearts brimming with gratitude. They knew that the talking animals had given them a precious gift, one that would guide them through the challenges ahead. Elian and Tom stood at the base of the towering mountain, its peak lost in the clouds. The path ahead was steep and fraught with obstacles, both visible and hidden. Elian turned to Tom, his expression serious. "Tom, this is the mountain of challenges," Elian said. "Every step you take will test your strength, your wits, and your resolve. Are you ready?" Tom nodded, determination gleaming in his eyes. "I'm ready." The ascent begins. The first part of the journey was a series of rocky steps that seemed to stretch endlessly upward. Each step was a struggle, the rough stones digging into Tom's feet. He stumbled more than once, but Elian's steady presence beside him gave him the courage to keep going. "Remember," Elian advised, "it's not just about reaching the top. It's about how you handle each challenge along the way." The riddle of the Sphinx. Halfway up the mountain, they encountered a large stone sphinx blocking the path. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light as it spoke. "Answer my riddle, or turn back. What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows." Tom pondered the riddle, recalling stories and lessons from his past. After a few moments, he smiled and answered confidently. "A mountain." The sphinx's eyes dimmed, and it moved aside, allowing them to pass. The Bridge of Fear. Higher up, they reached a narrow bridge spanning a deep chasm. The bridge swayed dangerously with each step. Tom's heart pounded as he looked down, but Elian's calm voice guided him. Focus on your goal, not the fear. One step at a time. Tom took a deep breath and crossed the bridge slowly, his fear gradually giving way to a sense of accomplishment as he reached the other side. The summit. The final stretch was the hardest. The air was thin, and each step felt like lifting a boulder. But Tom's determination never wavered. With Elian's encouragement, he pushed through the exhaustion and pain. Finally, they stood at the summit, the world spread out below them in a breathtaking panorama. Tom felt a surge of pride and relief. You did it, Elian said with a smile. You've conquered the mountain of challenges. Tom looked out at the horizon, knowing that this was just the beginning of his journey. The mountain had tested him, but it had also made him stronger. With Elian by his side, he was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Tom learns the power of listening deeply to others and nature. Tom had always considered himself a good listener, but it wasn't until he spent a summer in the mountains that he truly understood the art of listening. The whisper of the wind. Every morning, Tom would sit by the lake, close his eyes, and just listen. The wind whispered through the leaves, creating a symphony of rustling sounds that seemed to tell ancient stories. He discovered that each type of tree had its own voice. The tall pines sang a high-pitched melody, while the sturdy oaks resonated with a deep, soothing hum. Conversations with the birds. Tom also began to notice the birds. At first, their songs seemed like mere background noise. But as he listened more intently, he began to distinguish between the different calls. The chirpy greetings of the robins, the melancholic tunes of the mourning doves, and the cheerful chatter of the sparrows each had their own unique rhythm and message. Listening to others. Back in the village, Tom applied his newfound skills to his interactions with people. He realized that listening was more than just hearing words. It was about understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. When his neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, spoke about her late husband, Tom didn't just hear the words. He felt the depth of her loss and the joy of their shared memories. This empathetic listening created a stronger bond between them. The silence of nature. One evening, Tom decided to hike up the mountain to watch the sunset. As he reached the summit, he was greeted by a profound silence. It was in this stillness that Tom experienced a moment of clarity. He realized that true listening required not just hearing but also embracing silence. In the quiet, he found a connection to the world around him, and to himself. Lessons learned. Tom returned home with a new appreciation for the art of listening. He understood that listening deeply to others and to nature opened up a world of understanding and connection. It taught him patience, empathy, and the value of silence. Listening, he learned, was not just an act but a state of being. It was about being present in the moment, and opening oneself to the voices and sounds that often go unnoticed. Tom's journey into the art of listening transformed his relationships and enriched his life in ways he had never imagined. Elian guided Tom through a narrow, winding path that seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly light. Trees with leaves of silver and gold lined their way, their branches whispering secrets to the wind. Tom felt a sense of anticipation growing within him, a feeling that something extraordinary awaited just beyond the next bend. As they turned a corner, the path opened up to reveal a vast, enchanting garden. It was unlike anything Tom had ever seen. Flowers of every hue imaginable bloomed in perfect harmony, their petals glistening as if dusted with stardust. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms, mingled with a hint of something ethereal and indescribable. "Welcome to the Garden of Dreams," Elian said, his voice soft and reverent. Tom's eyes widened in awe. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it." Elian smiled. "This is a place where dreams manifest, where the impossible becomes possible. Each flower you see here represents a dream, a wish, a hope. They bloom and thrive as long as someone believes in them." Tom walked further into the garden, feeling the soft grass beneath his feet. He reached out to touch a delicate blue flower, and as his fingers brushed its petals, he felt a surge of warmth and joy. "Is this real?" he asked, looking back at Elian. Elian nodded. "As real as any dream can be." In this garden, the boundaries between reality and imagination blur. It's a sanctuary for the dreams of all who visit. Tom continued to explore, marveling at the variety and beauty of the flowers. Some glowed with an inner light, others seemed to hum with a gentle melody. He came across a patch of tiny, star-shaped blooms that twinkled like the night sky. These are the dreams of children, Elian explained, joining Tom. Pure, innocent, and full of wonder. They remind us of the magic in the world. Tom felt a lump in his throat. It's all so beautiful. I wish everyone could see this. Elian placed a hand on Tom's shoulder. That's why you're here, Tom. To carry the spirit of this garden with you, to remind others of the power of dreams. As long as you believe, the Garden of Dreams will always be with you. Tom nodded, feeling a sense of purpose and determination. He knew that this garden was a gift, a reminder of the beauty and magic that dreams could bring to the world. And he vowed to cherish it, to nurture his own dreams and help others find theirs. As they left the garden, Tom took one last look at the blossoms, now forever etched in his memory. The Garden of Dreams was more than just a place. It was a promise of hope and possibility, a testament to the enduring power of belief.